Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming my top 10 books of 2025. This was excruciatingly hard to narrow it down to 10 books, but I did it. I feel happy with the books that I've chosen, and I hope that you enjoy this video. So up first we have By Any Other Name by Jodi Picoult. I absolutely adored every single second of this book. It took me by so much surprise. I love Jodi Picoult's books, but I wasn't sure like quite what to expect with this one, because this one is, I feel like it's a little bit different than what she normally writes. This one basically questions the authorship of William Shakespeare, and it follows our main character, Amelia Bassano. It's actually a dual timeline, so there's another main character as well who's in the present day kind of researching Amelia. And she was thought to be one of the authors of Shakespeare's works, and it was at great detriment to herself and her mental health and her livelihood and everything. And this book was just so incredible. This book had me sobbing, like I was crying up a storm. It was so incredible, and I want to read to you my favorite quote from this book. It just really gets me. Escape may not be possible in my lifetime. Mayhap I am like a bird, beating against the window for naught, but you or your daughter or your daughter's daughter may be the one to fly through the hole. Oh, it's just so good. It's such a wonderful women's empowerment story. It's beautiful. It's everything that I wanted. And yes, that's why this is one of my top 10 books of the year. Up next, we're gonna completely flip the script. We have Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. This is my favorite Ali Hazelwood book. I absolutely loved this one. This one follows our main character, Scarlett, and she is a diver, and she is also like super focused and smart, and she works really hard. And then we also have Lucas, who is my favorite male hero of Ali Hazelwood book ever. Maybe one of my favorite male main characters in a book like to ever exist. I absolutely am obsessed with Lucas. He's an Olympic swimmer, and he's so soft, but he's like also like really dominant. It's just like so good. And this follows their relationship. They're basically in like a friends with benefits type of situation. So they're like in proximity to each other. It's just so good, and obviously they catch feelings. It's just so incredible. I absolutely loved every single second of Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I did not want it to end. I basically read it in one sitting. It's just so good. Definitely my favorite romance of the entire year. Up next, we have basically an entire series, but I'm using this book as a stand-in because this was my favorite book in the series so far. This is Magnolia Parks Into the Dark. But I'm going to talk about Magnolia Parks because that's the first book in the series, and I obviously don't want to spoil anything. But Magnolia Parks is basically a story where it follows our main character, Magnolia, and BJ. And Magnolia and BJ are basically like the most toxic couple that you have ever read about. It's like you cannot look away because they're just doing all of these crazy toxic things. They're together, they break up, they're together, they break up, they're together, they break up, and you never know what's around the next corner, except for the fact that they're in love and they're going to be in love for forever. Like they cannot stay apart from each other. There is high society London, so it's got beautiful descriptions of the clothing that they're wearing and everything that's happening. I just absolutely loved this story. I am definitely more of a Magnolia girl, but Daisy Hates also has a very special place in my heart. I just love this entire series, and I read it this year, and I cannot wait for the next Daisy Hates book to come out. Like, I'm just so excited. But Magnolia Parks Into the Dark was the last book in the like Magnolia Parks side of the universe, and it's just so good. It's so toxic, it's so messy, it's incredible. I absolutely loved it. Up next, we have The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer, and I absolutely adored this book. It was everything that I wanted it to be. It is so cozy and heartfelt and warm. I just could not put this book down. This book follows our main character, and she is a teacher's aide, and she has this relationship with this little boy, and she really wants to adopt him, but she doesn't make enough money. And so she is brought to this sort of like Willy Wonka style competition with her favorite book series from her childhood, and she can win enough money. Well, she's not going to win money. She's going to win a manuscript to her favorite author's like newest book, but she'll be able to sell it and make enough money to adopt this little boy. It's just such a beautiful story. It's so cozy, so whimsical. The competition part of this book is phenomenal. I just loved every single second of this cozy, warm, heartfelt, amazing little book, and I am Meg Schaefer's #1 fan now. I also read her book The Lost Story. I loved that one too, but I ended up going with The Wishing Game for this one for my top 10 because I felt such a strong connection. This will make you cry in like the softest, sweetest way. It is just such a great book. I highly recommend. Up next, of course, I have to mention Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This is so good. It was just incredible. Like, I could not put this book down. This is the 5th book in the Hunger Games series, and this one follows Haymitch Abernathy's story. This is before the original trilogy. This is one of the quarter quells that Haymitch won, and it is just so stinking good. You'll be sobbing. Like, as you can probably tell, I love a book that will make me cry. Like, there's nothing better than that in my opinion. But this book was just so fascinating. You have the interest and intrigue of the games. There's beautiful relationships and stories within this story. I cannot recommend this enough. In fact, like, it makes me want to reread all of the Hunger Games books so that I can read this again, because I just am so obsessed with Sunrise on the Reaping, just like pretty much everybody else who read this book. It's just so incredible. I cannot get enough. Up next, we have Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab, and I actually lent my copy out. But I absolutely adored every single second of this incredible book. We have 3 POVs in this story. And I think it's like the 1500s in Spain, the 1800s in London, and then sort of like modern day, I want to say in like Boston or something like that. And this is, as you've probably heard it described, it's toxic lesbian vampires. It's just so good. It's dark, it's atmospheric, it has everything that I could ever want in a vampire story. It has this pure obsession like running throughout it. It's just so incredible, so beautiful. All 3 timelines are interconnected, which is something that I absolutely love when you don't know how they're going to connect and then they eventually do connect. It's just such a wonderfully done, beautiful story. V.E. Schwab can do no wrong in my eyes. I literally love every book that V.E. Schwab puts out. I just am such a big fan of hers, and I cannot speak highly enough about Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Up next, we have Rose in Chains by Julie Soto, and this is another one that I actually don't own. I read this book from a copy from my library, and I'm going to buy this book eventually because I love it that much. But this book, it's so good. It is based on a Dramini fanfic that was published on AO3 that I read called The Auction. It was really good, but this book made it even better in my opinion. It starts out with basically an auction. We have our main character, Bryony, and we are in a world where the most powerful person has basically been murdered, and he was like the ruler and he's been murdered. So we're in this like kind of like post like good times. I don't know how to say it. Like, we're in this like dark evil time. So she is stripped of her magical mind powers and she is put up for auction, and she gets bet on, or not bet on, like auctioned for. Somebody buys her. And it's their story. It's just so incredible. it takes you places that you never thought that it would go. It's just so beautifully done. I think Julie Soto is an incredible author. I really love everything that Julie Soto writes. I've loved every single Julie Soto book that I've read, and I just cannot recommend this one enough. I think that if you're looking for like a dark fantasy vibe, then you will absolutely love this one. And don't let it be off-putting that it was a Dramione fanfic if that's not like up your alley, because it's just so beautiful. These enemies are like, oh my gosh, I can't speak highly enough, and I can't wait for the next book in this series to come out. Then we have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and this is everything that I wanted it to be in Taylor Jenkins Reid's newest story. It is so beautiful. It is a love story, first and foremost, about two astronauts working for NASA in, I want to say I'm pretty sure the 80s. And they are just so incredible. So they are two of the first women astronauts, and this story opens up like mid-crisis. So you see something absolutely detrimental and terrible happening, and so you know that something bad is going to happen the entire time that you're reading the story, because it flashes back in time to different aspects throughout the story, and it's just so gut-wrenching. It'll make you sob like it made me sob. It's just so beautifully done. I absolutely adore Taylor Jenkins Reid. She can do no wrong in my book. I absolutely love all of her stories, and this one especially. I think that this is one of my favorites by her. Then we have Blood Over Bright Haven by M.L. Wong, and this book took me by absolute surprise. I loved every single second of this book. It is so sad. It follows our main character Siona, and she is one of the first women mages in this city, and she has all of this new power, but nobody respects her because she's a woman. And they give her this like second, who is somebody who's from the Blighted Lands, and he is kind of like looked down upon. All of these people are looked down upon, but she and him kind of form this unlikely alliance. And Siona as a main character is completely unlikable, but throughout the story she grows and she learns and she changes. She's discovered the source of the power that is powering the city essentially, and she discovers how awful and terrible it really is, and she's trying to make it known, but obviously there's people who are trying to protect this secret. It's just so incredible. I absolutely loved this book. And finally, we have my favorite book of the entire year, and that is Alchemized by Sen Lin Yu. Now, if you watched my channel before I started this new era of my channel, if you watched it a long time ago, I read Manacled and I was absolutely obsessed. That was my favorite book of the year. And so, of course, Alchemized could be no different. Alchemized is a rewritten version of Manacled, which is another Dramione fanfic, and it's just so beautiful. This is another book that will absolutely have you sobbing. If you can't tell, like a book that makes me cry is a book that's perfect in my eyes. Like I love it when a book makes me feel something. Like it's just so fun. Well, I guess not fun. Fun's not the right word. I definitely would not describe this book as fun. This book follows our main character, and she has had her powers stripped from her, and she is basically known as, she was this healer for the side of good, and basically at the beginning of the story you find out that the side of evil has won, and so she is kind of captured, and she has no magical powers, and she also has no memories. They've wiped, like all her memories have been wiped, and so she is taken to the High Reeve, and he is like trying to figure out what's inside her memories that made her so important. It's just so beautiful. There's more to this story than I could ever even imagine. I just think that you need to open it up and start reading it. It's extremely long, but the payoff is worth it. Like every single page of this book is worth it, and I cannot speak highly enough about this book. I Like, I still think about this book daily. Like, I cannot get this book out of my brain, and I just highly recommend this book to absolutely anybody who wants their heart ripped out and stepped upon and just like destroyed. If that sounds like something that's up to your alley, you gotta read Alchemized. But in the most beautiful, loving, and kind, and gentle, and wonderful way. I just absolutely loved this book. And with that being said, those are all of my top 10 books of 2025. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Hopefully you found something new to read. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.